Good evening, everyone, from the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. It's Midwest Intercollegiate Volleyball Association action. Tonight, IPFW plays its home opening match, hosting the Lewis University Flyers. Along with Blake Sebring, I'm Kent Horman, and Blake, in a very short time, this has grown into quite a rivalry.
Well, it started really because the two women's teams were such great rivals. And then when Lewis became a varsity volleyball program a couple years ago, it just kind of transitioned into that. And they've been great matches ever since.
Well, according to the latest Volleyball Magazine poll, these two teams are almost like bookends. IPFW is 8th in the country with a record of 2-1. Lewis, 9th in the country. They have played 7 matches. They are 6-1. Will that give Lewis a bit of an advantage with that 8 games already having been played?
Not really, because IPFW's had won some big matches. They went to Penn State and won for the first time ever, and they went to Ohio State and played well also.
And ladies and gentlemen, we now will pause for our Star-Spangled Banner.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
An outstanding rendition of our Star-Spangled Banner by a local vocalist, Mark Bonahoo, who does an outstanding job singing at the previews before Comet games, Fury games, Wizards games. And now we are set to introduce the lineups for the Lewis Flyers and the IPFW Mastodons.
Number 4, Victor Riviera. Number 5, Edward Quinones. Number 7, Brian Johnwick. Number 8, Edgardo Dennis. And number 16, Guy Newbehard. The Flyers are coached by Dave Dozer. His assistants are Scott Newbroyer and Keith Kujana. And now for the starters for your IPFW Mastodons. At number 5, Ricardo Soler. Number 7, Ryan Perrott. Number 10, Chris Gislin. Number 11, Mike Cummings. Number 12, Javier Escobar. And number 13, Hector Soto.
And now they're back with the team.
And also, interestingly enough, Blake, you have Lewis, who went to the Final Four 2 years ago. Boy, this is a team that won 2 out of 3 with the Dons last year, but they come back with a very young group. They do have some holdovers, some veterans when you talk about guys like Quinones and Rivera, but 5 freshmen on this team. So we will see really how youth versus experience fares, and I'm not sure how much of a big difference that makes when you talk about volleyball.
Really, the Flyers just reloaded this year. They've moved Rivera from middle hitter to opposite so he can get more swings, and he was an All-American last year, so he should be even more effective this year.
Fans, this evening's IPFW men's volleyball match on Channel 6 is brought to you in part by Fujifilm USA, by the Chestnut Group Incorporated, and by Farm Bureau Insurance. And we are just about set to play volleyball. IPFW in its home opener facing Lewis University. Again, the starters for Lewis: Ryan McNeil, Victor Rivera, Eduardo Quinones, Brian Johnwick, Edgardo Dennis, and Guy Nembard. The coach is Dave Doiser in his 5th season. And for the Dons, Ricardo Soler, Ryan Perrott, Chris Gislin, Mike Cummings, Javier Escobar, and Hector Soto. And of course, at the controls for the Dons, Arnie Ball in his 19th season. The officials. The up official at the net is Tom Pingle. The down official, Lauren Giebert. And on the lines will be Bill Barone and Dave Hine.
I asked Lewis coach Dave Drizzer before the match what he thought would be the keys, and he thought blocking for his team. IPFW coach Arnie Ball said serving for his squad.
Yeah, we are just about set to go. They are ready to play, and set to serve is Chris Gislin. Jump serve. Oh, and it's a great upright there by Rivera. Kind of hits the kill, and now the Dons back row dig the set right down the pipe, and the great hit by Soto. What a dig, though, by Eduardo Quinones, but it sails out of bounds, and a point for IPFW. So right away, boy, the Dons with a big hit by Soto. What a dig back there by Lewis to keep it alive, but they couldn't keep it in play, Blake.
It was a great transition way to start the match for IPFW.
Now Gislin again with a huge jump serve. Quinones ups it. Great block at the net.
Mike Cummings.
Good job at the net by Cummings as he stunts Eduardo Dennis. IPFW quickly out to the 2-0 lead, and the Dons making it look very efficient here in the opening moments.
A 7-inch height differential there.
And Gislin again, just a rocket serve. That time Rivera with the pass, but not enough. And Tim Casey has to dive for it. Out of bounds it goes. IPFW very quickly on top, 3-0.
It's very, very key so far. Gislin's been able to get his jump serves in. Usually you have 2 or 3 good ones, and then you hit it out of bounds or hit it in the net.
Well, Gislin and his 2 called it play. 3 in a row, and Gislin that time maybe trying to put a little extra mustard on it.
I think I jinxed him.
You put the Jones on him. Now Ryan McNeil to serve for Lewis.
Nice pass. Cummings hit it long.
On the kill attempt by Mike Cummings, it just sails long.
You gotta like that. IPFW is going after a quick attack right away.
Give the point to Lewis, and it's 3-1, but just like that, Ryan McNeil gives the side out to IPFW as he serves into the net. So the Dons to serve, leading 3-1. Hey, it's a service ace for Ricardo Soler. Miscommunication problem between Rivera and Quinones. So the Dons quickly on top, 4-1.
Both teams are really jacked up.
Now Soler, who is serving right in the center of the court. This time Quinones ups it. Little set comes back to Quinones.
Javier Escobar was in the net.
Indeed he was, so a little bit of an error there by IPFW as the hit was deeply into the net, but the side out gives the ball now back to Lewis. Oh, the little back set. Cummings with the hit.
They called the Eduardo Quinones for being in the net for Lewis.
I think you're right, Blake. I think both these teams are really, really pumped up
right
now.
Down.
Now Mike Cummings did not get much on that serve at all. There's where you wish you could use a mulligan in volleyball, but no such luck there. So 4-1 IPFW, and Victor Rivera to serve. His little jump serve handcuffs Soto. So gives Rivera the ace, and the Flyers have a point. They now trail 4-2. Game 1 in the best of 5. Rivera again, short jump serve, tries to go right at Soto.
Serve.
It's an ace!
He hits a knuckleball. He hits a knuckleball basically on his jump serve.
That time Hector Soto tried to let it go over his head and like topspin like a great tennis shot. Down it came for a second successive ace. They're going right at Soto again. This time the up Gislin serves. Soto hammers it right off the wrist of Rivera. Side out IPFW.
Take that.
Perhaps we'll develop this later on in the match as you notice that Blondes are having more fun as far as volleyball is concerned. And now IPFW is having some serving problems as Javier Escobar commits a second successive service error for IPFW. Now Quinones to serve for Lewis. Again, they're going right at Soto. Gislin. Oh, the big hammer that time by Solar, but it's long, so give the point to Lewis.
Tie ball game.
4-4. IPFW has tried to work the middle so far, Blake. Now here comes Gislin, shoots it across. Soto, put it down.
IPFW is trying to mix up their offense so you don't know where the ball's going. And it's almost, they need to settle down and run their regular offense.
A great long set by Gislin, and Soto kind of cut the kill right in front of us. Now Soto to serve. Ooh, he blisters a shot. That was just a big serve right into the chest of Ryan McNeil. Couldn't decide whether to try to get out of the way or not, but give Soto the ace, 5-4 Dons. Soto to serve again.
Overkill.
Another great serve. Tied up at the net that time.
Ryan Perrott
Going at it with Perrott, and Perrott wins the battle as he just roofs it right back down. So now the Dons a couple of successive points. 6-4 IPFW, Soto to serve again. And Hector rams it into the net, so Blake can call that IPFW loves the jump serve. They've had 2 or 3 effective ones, and then the 3rd or 4th time is not the charm. Now Guy Nembard serving for Lewis. Gislin, little back set.
Lift. Called 2 hits.
Yes, they called a double hit. So that gives a point to Lewis. 6-5 IPFW. And Guy Nembard, the 6'6 junior from Glendale, California, to serve. Soto to Gislin. Back to Soto. Hits it through the block and wipes it off with Brian Johnwick. Side out IPFW.
You can tell both teams just trying to figure out what the other one's doing right now. It's really inconsistent play, and they're just trying to feel each other out, figure out what's going on.
Hector Soto,
great serve.
Averaging over 7 kills per game. And there's a missed hit by Ryan McNeil. That flies way wide and out. Point for the Dons. They now lead 7-5. You can see why Hector Soto is the leading kill man in the MIVA. He just flat out pounds it. Now the Dons to serve again. Perrott, they go down the middle. Rivera ups it. Little back set that time goes to Johnwick. The Dons keep it alive. Gislin to Escobar. Oh, what a hit by Hector Soto.
IPFW is serving extremely well right now. Every serve they have is very difficult for Lewis to handle.
IPFW on top 8-5. Game number 1 from the Gate Center. Ken Horman and Blake Sebring along the way. Perrott short serve. Rivera up. And Dennis fires the set across to Ryan McNeil. McNeil just smacks it into the net, and we will have a timeout. Dave Doiser wants to talk it over with his club as IPFW has taken a 9-5 lead.
McNeil had 45 kills last week against Ohio State, but his first 2 shots tonight have been in the crowd and in the bottom of the net. He needs to settle down.
Fans, the College Cable Access Program Guide provides information about our programming here in Channel 6, including IPFW sports telecasts. To receive your free Channel 6 program guide, send your name, address, and zip code to Channel 6 at IPFW. The address is 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805, or you can call us at 481-6000, or fire up the computer and send us an email at channel6@ipfw.edu.
I'm really surprised Rivera doesn't have a kill yet, and we're 14 points into the match. That's really strange. I have a feeling that this first set will definitely go to him.
IPFW on top 9-5, game number 1 of this best of 5. Again, the Dons coming into this match ranked 8th in the country by Volleyball Magazine. Number 1 team is Brigham Young. The Dons coming into the match 2-1, losing to Ohio State, beating Mercyhurst and Penn State at Penn State in 5. Now the serve by Perrott. Rivera
excellent.
ups. Forces it over the net. Gislin with the set. Oh, what a big smash by Soler! Ricardo Soler, they are wearing out Rivera right now.
I think that's where the set was going to go, and they've surprised him by hitting him with a serve. And he'll get this one, too.
10-5 IPFW. There you see the intensity of Victor Rivera. Perrott the short serve. This time Quinones with the other.
Yeah, guess who?
Dennis to Rivera. It's too long. No touch by IPFW.
I thought that shot was tipped at the net. They'll take it, 11-5.
Well, Tom Pingle says no.
All right.
And really, Rivera getting his first kill chance, and it sails long. The Dons are cooking. They lead 11-5. Perrott to serve again.
Here comes his
Quinones to Dennis. The hit that time by Johnwick. Great save by the Dons.
Hit it out of bounds.
But Soler, yep, hitting from about the center of the court.
That was a great dig by Soto there to keep the ball in play.
And as you could tell, Ricardo Soler was just itching to put that one away, but didn't quite get it. So the side out gives the ball back to Lewis. They trail 11-5. Eduardo Dennis to serve. Oh, the Dons with a big hit that time by Soler, but what an up by Nembard. Oh, another big smash that time by Soler, and he wipes it off the block of Rivera and Johnwick. Just a big hit by Solera. Looked like they were going to try and pull that ball back in. Couldn't get the job done. Side out IPFW. They lead 11-5. Gislin to serve. Whoa, big rip off of Rivera. Dennis tries to save it. McNeil does, puts it over. Back set and a dink. Oh, what a great play by Soler. Back set by Gislin. Beautiful dink by Soler, and the Dons on top, 12-5. They are hitting in all cylinders.
Lewis coach Dave Deuser thought before the match that passing would not be a problem for his team, but so far it's been terrible.
And the first substitution of the game, Guy Nembard will sit down for Lewis, and checking in will be Tim Casey, 6'3" senior outside hitter from Lindenhurst, Illinois. He also sporting the new blonde do, as we see 4 or 5 guys on this Lewis roster, and a couple of guys of IPFW, including Hector Soto, trying to look. Rivera again with a bad up.
They called Mike Cummings for reaching over the net to block the pass.
Well, Victor Rivera, Blake, has had very difficult times with his passing. That time, as Dennis tried to save it, Cummings did commit the error at the net, getting into it.
Nice
Short
pass.
set by Gislin, and the pound by Cummings, so he quickly makes up for it. Side out,
You can tell both teams. IPFW is trying to serve Rivera. Lewis is trying to serve Soto, hoping that it'll take each of them off their game.
12-5 Dons. Solera in the serve. Back set goes to Rivera.
His first kill.
And there's his first kill. Oh, wait a minute. No, I believe they are saying that his hit somehow got into the net.
No, they're saying I think what they're saying is I believe they're saying he was over the 10-foot line. But he's in the front row.
Nonetheless, give the point to the Dons. They lead 13-5, retain the serve. Dennis back sets to Rivera. He hits it into the net again. Wow. I believe maybe he had some help up there, though, by Mike Cummings getting the hands in there. But it looks like Rivera is hitting the ball very low. The Dons lead 14-5, and Dave Deuser has called another timeout, trying to settle his team down. IPFW smoking in this first game, best of 5. They leave 14-5. Folks, we'll be back for more MIVA volleyball action right after this.
Check it out!
The campus has it all.
Learn it, or work it, or play it, just do it. It's a cool place. Call now! Go to work, go to school, go ahead.
Kent Horman and Blake Sebring back at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. It's game point for IPFW in the first game. 14-5 Dons, and Solera to serve, goes right down the middle. It's a floater, and it carries long, so the Dons having the chance to take game number 1, commit the service there. Side out goes to Lewis, and Brian Johnwick, the 6'5 junior middle hitter out of Lisle, Illinois, set to serve for the Flyers. They again go at Soto, as Blake pointed out. Gislin serves a little dink that time, and what a play by Escobar.
IPFW is just hot right now. Just about anything they try works.
Well, it's like that quarterback who's really in the zone. They're making great reads. Now the Dons again go for game point, 14-5. Great crowd here at the Gate Center on their feet. There's the serve. Ooh, it looked like it handcuffed Rivera. Dennis sets, and the big hit blocked at the net. Quinones going for the hit at the net, but it looked like Perrott, the principal blocker. IPFW has taken game number 1 by the score of 15-5. What an impressive victory in this first game for the Dons.
IPFW couldn't have started much better, and Lewis could have started a lot better. The Flyers are really struggling right now with their passing as IPFW goes directly at Victor Rivera. He had no kills in the first game, and that's unbelievable. Here's an All-American, and they're focusing their defense on him. They're doing a wonderful job on him.
Well, as the two teams change their respective benches, we'll be ready for game number 2. Again, the Dons take the first one, 14-5. Back with more from the Gate Center.
Don't forget to listen Team spirit is alive and well at IPFW. That's because IPFW has established itself as an athletic power, not only regionally, but nationally. With 11 major sports, IPFW offers talented student athletes great opportunities. Success and support of IPFW athletics comes solely from the fans, students, faculty, alumni, and the prestigious Royal Dons Club. The Royal Dons Athletic Club has over 500 members who financially support IPFW athletics, enabling the university to provide scholarships to deserving athletes. Members will receive one or all of the following: season passes to all sporting events, special seating, hospitality room, plus Royal Dons apparel and gifts. Be a part of the winning tradition. Join the Royal Dons Club. We need your support. Call IPFW Athletics. Get into the team spirit.
The IPFW Omnibus Lecture Series proudly welcomes Speaker Douglas Wilder, former presidential candidate and first black governor in U.S. history, Thursday, February 19th at 7:30 p.m. in the Wall Ballroom, sponsored by News Channel 15.
Hi, I'm Edward James Olmos. On the streets of Fort Wayne, there's a battle going on. It's about kids fighting kids and families fighting families. Our youth are struggling to survive. Without positive alternatives to gangs, drugs, and violence, many will end up incarcerated or dead. You can make a difference by supporting the Multicultural Youth Advisory on Gangs and its programs. They provide alternatives for youth. Together we can stop the violence and increase the peace. To learn how you can make a difference in the lives of youth, please call.
Kent Horman and Blake Sebring back at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. IPFW with an impressive start in this match with the Lewis Flyers. The Dons playing their home opener tonight here at the Gate Sports Center. And in game number 1 of this best-of-5 showdown with the Flyers, the Dons reel off an impressive 15-5 victory. Does not get much better than that. And don't forget, we'll be right back at the Gate Center tomorrow night with another match when IPFW faces Loyola of Chicago. Tim Heffron will be on the call along with Blake. Still plenty of more action, though, to go here tonight as we are just about set for game number 2. Fans, don't forget IPFW Men's Volleyball on Channel 6 is brought to you in part by Fujifilm USA, by the Chestnut Group Incorporated, and also tonight by the fine folks at Farm Bureau Insurance.
Got some first game statistics so far. Victor Rivera had no kills and 2 errors in 3 attempts for the Flyers. And leading IPFW, Ricardo Soler had 3 kills. Hector Soto also had 3 kills.
Guy Nimbard to serve. Soto ups. Gislin sets. Little miss-hit job up the middle by Cummings. Great save that time by Lewis, but they can't quite continue the play. Lewis is having a devil of a time with its passing. Side out gives the ball to IPFW.
A lot of that's because of the way IPFW is serving.
Well, let's see if the Dons can pick up where they left off. Gislin with the big jump serve. That handcuffs Quinones. And again, Quinones gets kind of crossed up with Rivera, slid in front of him, and when he tried to get the wrists out, he launches it into the fans. So give Gislin another ace. The Dons quickly lead game 2, 1-0. Oh, Gislin that time catches the top of the tape.
Side out, Lewis.
Side out to the Flyers. So let's see what Lewis can do to get themselves back on track. Edgardo Dennis to serve. And his left-handed jumper goes into the net. And you called it, Blake, right now. Lewis is just having a terrible time serving.
When we came in tonight, Lewis was really giddy. They were having fun out, goofing around. And you wonder if they were focused enough.
Well, Ricardo Soler with the floater, and again, it wasn't the greatest up that time by Rivera, but a super set by Dennis, and what a hammer by Ryan McNeil.
That's his first kill of the match.
The side out goes back to Lewis, and now McNeil to serve. Soto with the up, Gislin has to chase.
Nice
Keeps it alive with one hand, and what a blast by Soto. Oh, what a set by Gislin. Gislin falling backwards, one hands the set beautifully. And then Soto hammers it down for another kill. Side out Dons. Now Mike Cummings, and again, they go this time to Quinones. The middle set. John Wick can't put it down. Oh, Escobar Escobar with the wipe-off kill.
I wonder what the problem is, because they're not going to Rivera at all anymore. There was a chance where they could have set Rivera, and they didn't do it.
Well, it's almost like Victor Rivera is missing in action tonight. Now Quinones. Dennis. There's Rivera, and he wipes it off the block of Peratt and Soto, and Soto pounds his chest saying, I should have had it. You know, folks, if you're checking this out, you see several players out there with that bright blonde hair, and the serving lows continue for Lewis as John Wick launches one into the net. He's talking to Dave Deuser, the coach of Lewis, and he said, hey, the first week of the season, Rivera's hair was blue. The Dennis Rodman look has arrived in the
that was almost a carry.
Now Soto loads it up. Did he get a tip?
No.
No. So the kill sails long. Side out goes to Lewis. The Dons still lead 2-0 after taking game one, 15-5. Now Rivera to serve, looking to get his big game on track.
Boy, no matter what Lewis does, they get a nice play, they get a side out, and then they serve it in the net.
Well, in that time, it looked like Rivera was changing his mind after he left his feet. Instead of going for the big jump serve, maybe he was going to float one.
This is critical for IPFW to jump on him right here. Get
now
a big
Soto.
Ace.
It's good. Oh, Hector Soto again with a big topspin serve. Plants it in the corner. And now McNeil and Rivera just with their hands and their knees like, what can you do? 3-0 Dons. Another big hit, and again, almost miscommunication. Rivera gets it up. Oh, that's a big hit that time to Rivera. Dennis, a bit of a fall away set, and from deep in the court, Rivera puts it away. Side out to Lewis.
You got to stay on top of him, because if Rivera gets hot, he can get Lewis right back in the match.
Soto ups the Quinones serve, and just a big put down by the setter Gislin. Catches everybody napping.
Not one of the Lewis players left their feet.
Nope, nobody was at the net. They were looking for the set. Side out Dons. Now here's Ryan Peratt, the 6'7" junior from Windsor. But his serve is a little shy. That catches net. Now both teams serving has started to crumble a little bit. Side out Lewis. Guy Nembard to serve. The floater, Soto. Gislin shoots it across, the big hit by Soler. Again, wipes it off the hands of Brian Johnwick. Side out Dons. Now Chris Gislin, very effective serving in game number one. Loads up the big one again. Good up by McNeil. Takes the set from Dennis.
McNeil just doesn't have it tonight.
Nope. And again,
they need someone else to balance off Rivera.
Their hits are so low. We have really seen nobody on Lewis Blake hit over the blocker come close. And that really gives the blockers an advantage. 4-0 Dons. Now the short serve. McNeil. Rivera tries to dink. Right there is Peratt. Gislin back sets. Escobar, another floater, and it drops in there. Again, miscommunication that time between Dennis and Nembard.
You can see the whole difference right there. IPFW was smart. They covered the tip. Lewis did not.
5-0 in favor of the Dons.
Another timeout for Lewis.
And Dave Deuser just can't believe what is happening here. IPFW is just rolling. We'll be back for more MIVA volleyball action right after this.
Talk about unusual. How often do you see transparent televisions?
Americans have more money to spend on leisure activities than ever before.
When possible, children should trick or treat during daylight hours and be accompanied by at least one adult.
A boat, archaeologists believe, is from the time Jesus and his disciples fished on the Galilee.
For best results, fertilize your lawn when it is actively growing.
Many people suffer from allergies. Few understand them.
Ken Horman and Blake Sebring back at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. IPFW is just off to a tremendous start in its home opener against Lewis University. The Dons rolling in game one, 15-5. And they're still on their horse in game two, 5-0. Another big serve by Gislin. McNeil with the up. Dennis sets across to McNeil, and does he hammer that one through? That time he split the block of Soler and Cummings, so looked like Ryan McNeil a little more inspired there. Big kill. Side out to Lewis. Edgardo Dennis, just a sophomore out of Trujillo Alto, Puerto Rico with the serve. Soto with the up. Gislin coming off the fake. Ricardo Soler with the kill. And the Dons get the ball back on the side out.
Ricardo coming through on the X.
And Soler to serve, goes right down the middle. It's another floater. Rivera decides to play it. Dennis with the back set. McNeil, what a great block by Escobar. A solo block by Javier Escobar. That's just good. There you see Edgardo Dennis going, what has hit us? Point Don, 6-0. Quinones, little short set that time.
Called a lift, and Chris did not argue.
Oh, boy. That was the short set to John Wick. And
he wanted that one bad.
And it looked, well, that ball was hit so hard so quickly. Arnie Ball kind of raises the eyebrows like, not sure about that, but the side out nonetheless. Escobar.
Nobody touched it, so it's out.
No, it rode the net. And once it came down just beyond the sideline, so give Lewis its first point of game 2, 6-1 IPFW. Soto to Gislin, down the middle is Solar!
You want to see a difference, you want to learn a little basic volleyball right here. Watch where the Lewis setter gets the ball, and watch where Chris Gislin's getting the ball for IPFW. Gislin's almost always right at the net. He can do whatever he wants with it. And Dennis is always running away. Here he goes, running away again from the net.
The set goes to Quinones, and he wipes it off of Parada and Escobar. Javier a little upset with himself, thinking he could have kept those hands together again and try to move it back in. Side out goes back to Lewis. Brian Johnwick to serve.
Great set.
Oh, but some miscommunication there. They thought they called the 2-play as the perfect pass to Gislin goes awry because both Soto and Parad thought the set would come to them, and then they both walked away.
This is where IPFW's got to be very careful.
Point to Lewis. Soto. Gislin. Back to Soto. Again, just a little lob hit, but a good job by Dennis. Now Rivera with the set. Oh, a great hit by McNeil coming out of the back row.
One more point. Don't be shocked if Arnie Ball calls timeout.
Well, when it was 5-0 and they broke the huddle, Arnie looked over at us and said, this is far from over. So he's been to these before. 6-3 Lewis. Good serve. Soto. Gislin. Escobar just slaps it to the back row. McNeil. The big hit by Rivera. And Rivera mishits.
They got a break there because that would have been 6-4. The momentum would have been all Lewis.
And this is not the Victor Rivera we are used to seeing.
Arnie was 2 inches off the chair for that timeout when that went out of bounds.
Side out Dons, now the serve. Back set goes to Rivera. Great block by Soto, they chase it down. Nembard to set, here's Rivera again. That time he wipes it off of Soto. So the side out returns the ball to the Flyers.
And Rivera's back in the match, isn't he?
Now Victor Rivera, what talent. 6'5" junior out of Naranjito, Puerto Rico.
He's a one-man rally.
Gislin backs us to Parad, and Parad got no lift on that.
That wasn't a very good set.
Sticks it into the heart of the net, 6-4. Here's Rivera. Soto tries to put it down. Oh, Hector Soto. Hector Soto with the big hit. And IPFW gets the side out after a tremendous hit by Hector Soto. Now Soto to serve for IPFW. They lead game 2, 6-4. Big serve by Soto. Rivera with the up. Oh, super dig by Cummings on the hit. Oh, there's Escobar. It is down. And a point for IPFW as Escobar.
That was a big play to regain some momentum, Kent.
7-4 IPFW. Now Soto to serve. Hits the top of the net.
Oh boy, you just can't have that. You just had a great play to regain some momentum and then you hit it in the net.
Now the side out gives the ball over to Lewis. Quinones, his serve sails wide. He smacks the floor in disgust. So side out right back to IPFW. They lead it 7-4 after taking game 1, 15-5. Now the serve by Parat. Bad pass by Rivera. He gets it back, and Rivera is going to get a break. Hammers it right off of the head. That time I think of Gislin, off his shoulder at least, and then it hit the concrete wall behind. Now the side out as Nembhard serves for Lewis. Oh, a big hit and a wide open kill by Ricardo Soler.
I think IPFW has hit the back line about 10 straight kills.
And they are wearing out the corners and the back line, so side out back to the Dons. Here's Gislin. IPFW leads 7-4. McNeil. Oh, what a great play at the net.
Javi saw that coming a mile away. He was up before the setter was.
Edgardo Dennis tried to get a little cute, and Escobar gave him the old volleyball sandwich. 8-4 IPFW. Here's Gislin.
How do you spell that?
Another great play. McNeil barely gets it up. The big hit by Soto. Ripped off the hand of Nembhard. And the fans are on their feet again. The Dons explode off their bench. Oh, Hector Soto is just wearing a hole in the floor.
That was a great set by Gislin.
9-4 Dons.
Gislin's been amazing tonight so far.
Tim Casey again checks back in for Lewis. Here's Gislin. What a night of serving he's had.
Oh, another one.
Rivera, Dennis. Oh, the big hit that time by McNeil, but it's wide.
And Javi was just short enough to duck under that ball.
Yeah, it's a good thing he is not much taller than 5'10", so the hitting air, 10-4 IPFW, and here comes Gislin again.
Wow, he's hitting rockets.
Quinones to Dennis. Not much of a hit that time by John Wick. Gislin has to save. Now Dennis shoots the set over. Oh, McNeil with a big hit.
They had it covered the first time. They had it covered, and they couldn't make an offensive play off of it.
Well, McNeil is stepping up his game, the 6'2 junior from Scarborough, Ontario. He has the kill to give the side out to Lewis. And now Dennis to serve. Escobar. Gislin shoots it across to Escobar. Drops it through. McNeil saves it, but not very well.
Goodness.
And that time, Dennis seemed to lose track of the ball. He couldn't go after it, but it hits the side standard.
They've lost all communication over there. It's
You
like
betcha.
an old married couple.
You see some frustration there in the face of Ryan McNeil. Dons have the ball back, 10-4, the floater. Now Rivera takes the return. That time he hits it through the block. It gets through Soto and Cummings.
Right now, Lewis is running a very basic offense, and IPFW has done an excellent job defending it, while IPFW is running a very complicated offense.
Now there you just saw Victor Rivera give a big yell. It's like, come on, guys, let's go. We know we're better than this. It's been all Don so far. Gislin with the back set. Right down the middle of the dink. Oh, what a brilliant play. Super save by Casey. The big hit that time by Rivera. Wipes it off the block. And you have to give Tim Casey super credit for diving and then saving the ball with the back of his hand, flicking it up after the great dink by Solar.
That play worked perfectly for IPFW, except Javi couldn't swing away at it.
10-5 IPFW. Soto to Gislin. Comes up the middle, Cummings. It's blocked. Now Casey to Dennis. The big hit that time by Quinones.
Lewis is starting to get some points in transition. It's another key point of momentum right here.
Point for the Flyers. It's now 10-6 IPFW. Game 2. Dons win game 1. 15-5, and there's the rally breaker, the service error by Ryan McNeil.
Those will kill coaches. You just got a big play to make it 10-6. You can get back into it and you hit it out of bounds.
Now Cummings with the serve. Quinones peels it off the floor, takes the return. Did he wipe it off the block? Yes, he did.
That was not a smart play because there's nowhere he could hit the ball. Where the ball was set, he had to hit it out of bounds.
But he just got it off the IPFW block. Now we see Chris Gislin signaling a play to his team.
Oh my goodness.
Well, there you know you're going bad. Brian Johnwick to serve.
But again, they make another, they get a break on that serve. On the ball hit out of bounds, and then they come back and hit it under the net.
You know you are having trouble serving when you don't even get the ball to the net. Quinones goes down the middle and gets it off the Soto Parad block. It rolls down the net, side out back to Lewis. So now it's Quinones looking for some sets. 10-6 IPFW. Rivera, short serve. Soto, beautiful pass. Gislin down the pipe for Soler. Good up by Johnwick. Ooh, Rivera, but Escobar is right there. Soto. Oh, and that time Soler hits it into the net. Arnie Ball, and you could probably hear that over our microphone. Oh, he is upset. Barks out the timeout. And he brings his troops over, and he's going to do some talking, and he's doing most of the talking to Mike Cummings. So Arnie Ball a little bit upset with his team. The Dons look to be in control, but now Lewis has rallied to make it 10-7. Fans, don't forget, IPFW head men's volleyball coach Arnie Ball, along with assistant coach Mark Franke, review recent activities and highlights each Thursday evening at 10:30 p.m. right here on Channel 6. Tune in to keep up with the team, meet the players, and find out what's coming up. That's Thursday, the Arnie Ball Show, 10:30 p.m. right here on College Access Channel 6.
And right now, I don't think we could put on TV what he's saying to his team. He's not happy at all.
Well, Arnie,
he wants the intensity to be maintained because he knows Lewis has the firepower to come back in a match like this.
Arnie has certainly been very animated during this timeout. After the Solar hit went into the net, Arnie immediately screamed timeout, gave his little workbook a little bit of a massage on the seat, and he certainly was doing all of the talking during this timeout, and his players were doing all of the listening. Now Rivera to serve. Into the chest, that time of Escobar, so give Rivera a much-needed ace. And now here comes Lewis. Within two, they trail 10-8 in game two. Rivera, another jump serve, just barely gets it over the net. Soto with the hit. And let's see, whistles blow. They're ruling somebody was in the net. And I believe they're calling, well, let's see who they are calling in the net.
Couldn't make it out.
It looked like he held up a number 6, but I don't believe Casey's in the lineup right now.
No, actually, that means Guy Nembar was in the net.
Oh, Soto with the big serve, and that just carries long. So again, the big topspin, and the teams continue to trade momentum, Blake. Canones to serve, the floater.
This game should be over right now.
Soto with the pass, long set that time. Oh, it's a great save by Soler. Another great save by Soler. Gislin sets Soler. He hits it, goes right off the fingers. What are they going to call against Rivera? Did they call somebody under the net that time?
I believe they called Brian Johnwick for being under the net.
Well,
I'm sorry, it must have been Dennis. It was Dennis under that.
You could see Rivera because he thought he was being called for the double hit on a great save, but indeed the down judge, Lauren Gebert, said there was somebody under the net. So side out to the Dons. They lead 10-8. Brian Harris to serve. One-handed set that time, and nothing can be done.
Boy, you got to like that if you're Brian coming off the bench. Get your first serving, get a point. That's just exactly what he's supposed to do.
Edgardo Dennis, and again, miscommunication. Frustration being shown between Dennis and Guy Nembard. Point for the Dons, a much-needed point. 11-8. Another good serve by Harris. There's McNeil off the block. Good dig up by Harris. There's Soto. Oh, he hits it into the net. It was a great dig by Harris.
Perfect thing. He comes in, gets a point off his serve, and gets a dig on the second point.
Side out to Lewis. Nembard to serve. 11-8 IPFW short serve. Soto with the short pass. Set goes across to Soler, and that time a beautiful block by Edgardo Dennis.
He tried to duck underneath the block, but it hit him.
Point Lewis, and now the Flyers trail again by 2, 11-9. Nembard to serve. Soto, that's a terrible play right there, goes over the net and hammered down right into Gislin.
And Gislin blocked it back. They were lucky there.
By Ryan McNeil, Gislin manages to get the ball back over the net. Looked like that was going to ride down his shirt, and he gets the ball back over the net. Side out Dons, Gislin to serve. They need it. Great up that time by Rivera. Here's McNeil off the block.
IPFW should be kind of scared right here. It's 11-9 in the second game. Rivera hasn't done much, and McNeil hasn't done much, and you know those two have potential firepower that they can come back at any time.
Now Dennis to serve. Little left-hander. Cummings. Gislin across to Escobar. What a beautiful block that time by Victor Rivera. Oh, Escobar was sky high, put the big hammer to it.
They were waiting for him.
But Rivera was right there to give it right back to him, and now...
That play was running into the teeth of the Flyers defense. That was almost like Lewis set up the play.
11-10. Soto. Dink by Soler. Dennis back to McNeil. He wipes it off the block once more. And we are even Steven. IPFW once led 10-5. We are now even at 11.
And it's mostly because of IPFW mistakes.
Lewis has the chance to take its first lead of any game in this match so far. Dennis to serve. Into the net.
How many times tonight?
Into the net. But at least you're not seeing the Flyers hanging their heads at this point. They're saying, okay, we know we're back in this. Key point of this match already. Soler with the floater. Rivera shoots the set, and a beautiful play as Dennis set Rivera. Rivera hammers it through. Side out right back to Lewis.
They got to be ready for that. They know Rivera's going to get that set.
Well, Rivera is 4th in the conference in kills per game average at over 4.
Jiminy
But
Christmas.
right back it goes.
Unbelievable.
McNeil with the serving error.
Can't you and I think, could get the ball in. Well, maybe.
Hey, I used to be a half-decent server. That was about the only element of this game that I ever had.
It's not like they're trying tough serves either.
No, these haven't been jump serves that have been going out of bounds.
They're not trying knuckles. They're just trying to get it in.
Cummings serve floats out of bounds over the back line. This is one of those I've got it, you take it games. Neither team wanting to claim it. Soto. Gislin takes a look. Oh, there's Soto. Right down the pipe.
All 3 Lewis blockers jumped on the first man through.
Great vision that time by Gislin, taking a look. Kind of gave the nod to Perrott. The fake was bought by Lewis. And there is, Escobar. Again at the last minute, the serve just floats out.
Again, they had a great play before that to possibly gain some momentum, and you hit it out.
11-11, Rivera. Soto with another beautiful pass. Gislin to Soto.
Oh, wow.
Wipes it off the block.
He must have been 11 feet in the air on that.
Edgardo Dennis all by himself and virtually helpless. 6-1 against 6-6. 11-11 still. Now Hector Soto, the leading kills per game average man in the league to serve. Rivera. Dennis back to Rivera. Hammers it right off the hands of Soto. Too hot to handle.
And guess who's back in the match full swing?
Victor Rivera has arrived, albeit midway through game 2, but he is here. Quinones. Boy, Soto passing beautifully. Now it goes to Soler. Wipes it off the block. And again, Dennis and Nembard that time could not get the job done. Side out IPFW.
When IPFW passes like that, Chris Gislin can use all his weapons. Lewis doesn't need that luxury quite as much because Rivera can hit it from anywhere.
Now Perrott with the floater. Rivera. That time, that's a beautiful play by Dennis, who saw the little hole and just flapped it down with the left hand. The side out goes to Lewis. Nembard to serve. 11-11 the score remains. Soto another pretty pass. Across to Soler. Right there, though, is Nembard. Ooh, almost a miscommunication in there. Woo-hoo! At the net, Gislin manages to just tumble it over.
That was lucky. It was a great play by Gislin, but they almost didn't get the setup.
There's Gislin out of Red Wing, Minnesota. And Chris Gislin, who has done such a beautiful job of serving, that time commits a crucial service error.
Remember in the pregame we said Arnie Ball said the key was serving, and that's been very true tonight.
11-11. Dennis to serve. Escobar. Gislin. Soler. Beautiful block that time by Ryan McNeil.
Lewis takes the lead for the first time in the match.
Oh, McNeil doing a little strut after that. Point goes to Lewis. They lead 12-11. Left-handed serve that time by Dennis. Soto from his knees. Back set goes to Soler. That time they wipe it off of McNeil. Side out IPFW. Chris Gislin smacking his hands together saying, okay, guys, let's go. Ricardo Soler to serve. Goes down the middle to Rivera. Bad pass.
Guess who?
Here's Rivera, though. Oh, beautiful block, but it sails wide.
They had him pegged.
Cummings and Soto at the net, and the block trying to keep the ball back into the court. It sails wide. 12-11 Lewis, the floater, upped by Soto. Gislin takes a look, back sets to Escobar. Just wide.
Missed it.
And Escobar had an open lane, and now the Lewis Flyers are coming to life.
Here we go with the timeout.
Arnie Ball wants a timeout. Lewis has come from 10-5 down here in game number 2 to take a 13-11 lead. We'll be back for more MIVA volleyball action right after this message.
Since you graduated from college, we haven't seen too much of you.
We know you've been very busy climbing the ladder of success.
We've been watching you on your way up.
And we've enjoyed seeing you put your degree to work.
Now, how about sharing your time with us?
Your expertise would come in handy, too.
you can reconnect with your alma mater through your alumni association.
It's time for you to come back to your campus.
Call your alumni office today.
I'm not sure if momentum can switch more swiftly in any sport than in men's collegiate volleyball, but IPFW having everything its own way, winning game 1 15-5, leading game 2 10-5, but there you see it, Lewis has come roaring back to take a 13-11 lead, and they are a couple of points away from squaring this match at a game apiece. And Lewis has really come on strongly. Victor Rivera has picked up his game, as has Ryan McNeil.
And right now, referee Tom Pingle's kind of warning both teams to keep your mouth shut and just play. And they're laughing about it, so the guys aren't taking, they're taking it seriously, but they're just going to see what happens.
Well, we talked about the one big block by McNeil. The strutting started, and what starts out good-naturedly then can become a little heated. Now Gislin to Soto. Soto hammers it down.
And Lewis knew Soto was going to get that set. They just couldn't do anything about it.
Well, the only trouble is when your hair is up among the rafters, which happens to be the same color. You cannot block with a ladder when you get off the floor as high as Hector Soto does. Now, Arnie Ball making some changes. Justin Luna makes his first appearance of the match. 6'1" senior swing hitter from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. His jump serve over the net. A bad pass that time by Rivera and hammered down by Hector Soto.
The two substitutions that Arnie Ball's tried in this game have come off the bench and gotten him immediate points.
And the big serve by Luna could not be handled. Rivera just put it right into the wheelhouse of Soto. Point Dons, they trail 13-12. Now Eric Sims will check in for Brian Johnwick for the Lewis Flyers. Sims, a 6'5" sophomore from Glenville, Illinois. Now Luna looking for another big serve, and into the net it goes. Boy, I don't care who you are. I mean, Blake, Arnie talked about it before the match. You have to have good serving. I don't care who you are. You have to be able to serve the ball. Now Soto. Gislin, short set goes to Perrott. Great dig by McNeil. That time a great block by Rivera. Just looped over the net by Solar. From the back row, Solar just looped it over the net. McNeil could not get to it. IPFW gets a huge break. Now Escobar to serve. Back set goes to Rivera, and he just drills it.
He was one-on-one with Soto. Man, I'd like to have his right arm.
Oh, well, it is like a rocket. Now Victor Rivera to serve. Soto. Gislin back to Soto. Great dig that time by Sims. Now coming right through the middle is McNeil.
Oh my goodness, he got it through 3 of them.
He managed to get it through 3 Dons at the net. Perrott, Soto, and Gislin.
We got game point.
A point to the Flyers. It's 14-12. Arnie Ball can't believe it. I think he thought McNeil was into the net. And now Victor Rivera is serving for game point in game number 2. The big serve. Escobar. Gislin. Soto hammers it off the block.
He just went up where nobody else could go on that one.
And Guy Nembard, who goes all as 6'6", got about as high as he could. Lewis will call a timeout as the side out goes to IPFW. The Dons trail 14-12. Again, IPFW winning game number 1, 15-5. They led game number 2 by as much as 10-5, but Lewis has come roaring back, and they are a point away from evening this match at a game apiece. Fans, once again, don't forget, join us again right here from the Gate Center tomorrow evening. That's February 7th at 7:30, the next telecast of IPFW Men's Volleyball, when Channel 6 will televise live the MIVA conference match between the Loyola of Chicago Ramblers and the IPFW Mastodons. Tim Heffron and Blake Sebring on the call. Again, Loyola of Chicago and IPFW, that's tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. right here on College Access Channel 6.
All right, here's what's going to happen. Hector Soto's going to go up and try to rip a jump serve, and depending on the pass, it'll probably go to Rivera or go to McNeil. Probably Rivera, so IPFW needs to load up on both of those two. He'll probably try to hit Rivera with the pass.
14-12, Lewis in the lead. Game number 2, IPFW winning game 1, 15-5. Hector Soto loads up the big serve into the net.
Goodness.
And Arnie Ball just looks down at the floor.
That'll make you an old man quick.
Now Quinones with the serve. Soto takes the return, and it's pounded down. Soto could not get it through the block, and that time Ryan McNeil, and he's showing his strut. So Lewis has shocked the Dons, coming back in game number 2 to win it 15-12, and this match is all even at a game apiece. And now Blake, it becomes a best 2 out of 3. Boy, it looked like IPFW maybe a few points from putting this one away early, breaking this one open.
Before the match, we expected this to go 5 games. I don't think we expected it to happen like this, where IPFW dominated so easily and then fell apart.
15-5, IPFW wins game 1. Lewis coming back to win game 2, 15-12. Back with game 3. Stay with us.
Check it out!
The campus has it all.
Learn it, or work it, or play it, just do it. It's a cool place. Call now! Go to work, go to school, go ahead.
Your parents are always bugging you to get out of the house and get some exercise. But you've got your own way of doing things. You're your own person. You don't need to follow the crowd or the rules. And the last people you want to be like are your parents.
Johnny, tell them what they want.
Michael Jordan, UNCF, take 1.
We're here to tell you about the College Fund. It was set up to help deserving kids get a chance to be what they want to be. Are there any future doctors in the house?
Yeah!
Any scientists?
Yeah!
What about teachers?
Yeah!
All right, now who's going to play professional basketball? Come on. It's a good job. Please join me and support the College Fund. If mine is a terrible thing to waste.
Yeah!
The IPFW Omnibus Lecture Series proudly welcomes Speaker Douglas Wilder, former presidential candidate and first black governor in U.S. history, Thursday, February 19th at 7:30 p.m. in the Wall Ballroom, sponsored by News Channel 15.
You are 100% unadulterated energy. You have no choice but movement. You aren't acted on. You are action. You have the power to make the world a better place. You already know how to do it. Volunteer now for the American Red Cross. Call your local chapter for details.
I haven't made up my mind yet. What are you going to take?
Algebra.
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 If no one's explained how algebra, geometry, and calculus can improve your future, demand that you be told. Call NACME. We'll tell you.
Talk about unusual. How often do you see transparent televisions?
Americans have more money to spend on leisure activities than ever before.
When possible, children should trick or treat during daylight hours and be accompanied by at least one adult.
A boat archaeologists believe is from the time Jesus and his disciples fished on the Galilee.
For best results, fertilize your lawn when it is actively growing.
Many people suffer from allergies. Few understand them.
Ted Horman and Blake Sebring back at the Hilliard Gates Sports Center. IPFW playing its home opening match of the 97-98 volleyball season. Taking on the Lewis Flyers. IPFW winning game 1 15-5. Lewis coming back from a 10-5 deficit in game 2 to even things up by taking game 2 15-12. So again, this becomes a best 2 out of 3. And fans, once again, don't forget IPFW Men's Volleyball on Channel 6 is proudly brought to you in part by Fujifilm USA. By the Chestnut Group Incorporated. And by Farm Bureau Insurance. All proud sponsors of IPFW Men's Volleyball on Channel 6. Now, Blake, it'll be interesting now to see where the momentum lies as IPFW regroup and say, hey, look, we cruised in game 1. We were cruising in game 2, so let's just get back on track in game 3. Or does Lewis say, we didn't get off the bus until midway through the second game, and here we are all even. Now let's just go out and play a 2 out of 3 match, get back on the bus, and go home with a W. Well,
IPFW's success in the first game was strictly off their serving. They served so well that Lewis couldn't run its offense. And, you know, Victor Rivera didn't have any kills in the first game. Ryan McNeil didn't have any kills in the first game. Rivera came back with 8 in the second game. And McNeil had 6 in the second game. So it all depends on IPFW serves. They've got to be more aggressive, and they've got to be more accurate. They had 7 serving errors in the second game, which let Lewis regain the momentum.
Well, despite the fact that Victor Rivera elevated his play to the level that we're used to seeing, we saw it last spring when we telecast the game, the season-ending game for IPFW here at the Gates Center. The guy I was really impressed with in game 2 was Ryan McNeil. Now the Dons to serve, game 3, Gislin, Quinones. Dennis backs at that time Sims. Soler tries to save it. Gislin goes near the bench. Right down the middle is Soto. Nembard up. Oh, wow. What a great play by the Dons. Great play by the Dons as that time Dennis with the set, but it came right back down the pipe. Escobar and company up at the net as they tried the middle hit. 1-0 Dons. Gislin again to serve. Good serve. Good pass that time by Rivera. Did McNeil get it down? No, it sailed just a little long.
Once again, IPFW serves well and gets some momentum early. They got to keep it up.
Ryan McNeil gave it that extra look, but satisfied that that hit did sail just a little bit long. So the Dons quickly off again in game 3, leading 2-0.
Just missed.
Big serve by Gislin. Boy, from our vantage, I thought that might have clipped the line, but quickly signaled out.
Yeah, you're just a homer.
Maybe by a couple of inches. Well, we have, I guess, not the best angle in the world, but I thought that topspin carried it onto the tape. Now Soto with a beautiful pass. Gislin back sets to Solar. Rips it right off the arms of Quinones.
Almost got a facial.
Well, yeah, if he didn't have those arms up at the last second, that would have been right in the mush. Side out Dons, here's Soler to serve. Little floater. Rivera steps in front of Quinones. Dennis to McNeil. Beautiful up that time by Peratt. And the big hit by Escobar. Oh, what a save by Nembard. That time Soto. And it hit the tailgate that time at Rivera. And we end up with the ball. So give a point to IPFW. They lead 3-0. That ball going all over the place ended up in our lap. Serving down the middle again will be Solar. Quinones, terrible pass. Good set though by Nembard, the dink, and beautifully placed by McNeil. Boy, did he ever disguise that until the last second.
Somebody's going to get chewed on that one because where the set was going, he really couldn't get a full swing on it.
Beautiful play though by Ryan McNeil. Side out goes to Lewis and McNeil to serve. Here's Soto. Gislin back sets to Escobar. That time a great block at the net.
Escobar was in the net.
Javier Escobar is called in the net. Give the point to the Flyers. They're on the board in game 3. IPFW leads 3-1. Dons won the first game, 15-5. Lewis taking game 2, 15-12.
You can tell how evenly matched the two teams are, and it's just going to come down to serving. It's one area where you can really help yourself.
Now Ryan McNeil. Gislin to Soto. Drills it through the block that time as Rivera and Eric Sims really weren't on the same page as they went up. So side out comes right back at the Dons, and it'll be Mike Cummings 6'8" sophomore out of Mare, Minnesota to serve. Quinones to Dennis. Right down the middle, but saved as McNeil couldn't get it down. Now back set to Escobar. Good block at the net by Quinones. Gislin a little frustrated as the ball didn't exactly go down with big authority.
He didn't really make the right choice.
Gislin maybe thought he could have gotten up there to try to save the ball, but the side out goes to Lewis. Now here comes the serve.
Jiminy.
That's what you call a good old-fashioned shank.
We've seen a few of those tonight, haven't we? It's like your golf game.
Boy,
out
Eric
there.
Sims, I mean, that was right into the seats. Now Quinones with the up. Takes the set. Right there waiting, though, for the hitter, the Dons, as Cummings. Now here comes Soto.
Nice catch.
I got to play on that one.
Nice catch. Too bad about your drink.
Well, that happens, and in fact, I thought that was empty. I can't be too disappointed because the drink went everywhere but on me. On they play, and that time, what a great save by Escobar.
Oh,
it just carries out of bounds.
Lewis got lucky there because they had nobody back to cover that. It was a very nice play by Javier.
Well,
that gives a whole new meaning to wipe, can't with your drink.
We are right in the combat zone, so give you our reset of the scoreboard. IPFW leading 4-1 in game 3. They're even at a game apiece. Short serve by Rivera. Beautiful play that time by Gislin, but Rivera anticipates. Now Gislin just hammers it down, and he wiped it off a block, so a side out goes to the Dons.
Rivera tried to pull his hand back on the dig and didn't get it done in time.
And it'll be Hector Soto to serve. IPFW controlling the ball and leading 4-1 in game 3. And that time, well, we've had a shank and we've had a hook. As Soto serve goes wide left.
When's the slice coming?
Now Quinones with the floater. Gislin shoots it across, and that time as Escobar tries to, I should say, it was Soler who tried to wipe it off.
The set was kind of difficult for him to handle. He had to end up turning his body towards parallel to the net.
Point goes to the Flyers, and Quinones to serve again. Soto, Gislin to Soler. Beautiful block that time by Edgardo Dennis.
He got him a better set that time, but the Flyers were waiting on it.
And again, some serious celebrating by Lewis as they closed within a point, 4-3. Soto to Gislin. He has his choice. Down the middle it goes to Soto. Didn't quite get the timing. Now here's McNeil. Oh, what a great job at the net by Perrott. And Perrott gives him the little point like, I don't see you strutting now, pal.
They're going to change the call because the linesman is going to call that the ball went out of bounds off the block. He's going to say that the block tipped, the ball tipped the wire, tipped the antenna after the IPFW player blocked it.
Well, and the discussion continues as Victor Rivera listens in along with Ricardo Soler. Perrott can't quite believe it. He thought that he had a clean block, but Lewis celebrating again as there is a reversal, so Lewis retains the ball, and Arnie Ball wants an explanation from Lauren Jeevert.
Now he's going to get a card.
And Arnie does get a yellow card as he grabs the net a little bit. And the Dons continue to plead their case.
Basically, the yellow card's a warning. Another one is going to be a point.
So on we play. Quinones to continue to serve. 4-3 IPFW. That will float long. So yet another service error for Lewis. And IPFW looking to regain the momentum. It's a 4-4 match. Rivera to Dennis. McNeil with the big hit. Beautiful block by IPFW as it was Cummings down the middle. Lewis could not chase it down, so point for IPFW. They reclaim the lead 5-4.
They've done a pretty good job on McNeil this game.
Now Ryan Perrott, the middle hitter out of Windsor. Not the best pass that time to Rivera, but a beautiful back set goes to Nimbard, and he puts it down. Side out Lewis. Yeah, we talk about this Lewis team. Went to the Final Four 2 years ago. 5 freshmen on the roster this year. Oh, the big hit that time by Soler goes off the arm of Eduardo Quinones. Now Solar doing a little bit of barking after that kill.
The two teams have settled down. This is more of what we expected from the start of the match right here.
Now Gislin. McNeil ups. Dennis back sets. Oh, as Sims tries to hit it, there's Cummings again with some help from Escobar. Now Mike Cummings making his presence felt with the middle block.
McNeil kind of got in the way of his own player there.
Point for IPFW, 6-4 Dons. There's Gislin with the big serve again. Upped by McNeil. Right down the pipe, and oh, Rivera! And what will they call?
They call the lift.
That looked like a pretty good play right there. Beautiful block in the middle again by the Dons as Rivera tried to save it. They did call the lift against Quinones. And now Dave Doyser will make a substitution. Brian Johnwick returns for Lewis in place of Eric Sims.
Seems like at this point in the first two games, was right when Chris Gislin would get in a couple serves and IPFW would stretch its lead and pull ahead.
Dennis,
same thing's
as
happening
Johnwick
here.
is served immediately and set immediately. And again, there is Cummings right down the chute to put it right back in the face of Brian Johnwick. The Dons starting to roll again. They lead 8-4.
I think Dave heard me.
Dave Doyser wants a timeout, so IPFW trying to get a bit of a roll going again. And they have built an 8-4 lead in game number 3. IPFW taking game 1, 15-5. Lewis bouncing back in game number 2, 15-12. We'll be back with more MIVA volleyball action after this.
Hi, I'm Edward James Olmos. On the streets of Fort Wayne, there's a battle going on. It's about kids fighting kids and families fighting families. Our youth are struggling to survive. Without positive alternatives to gangs, drugs, and violence, many will end up incarcerated or dead. You can make a difference by supporting the Multicultural Youth Advisory on Gangs and its programs. They provide alternatives for youth. Together we can stop the violence and increase the peace. To learn how you can make a difference in the lives of youth, please call.
After the timeout, IPFW to serve. Here's Gislin as he comes up with yet another big serve. Now McNeil with the hit. Dons get a partial block. Escobar tries to save. And Lewis gets the much-needed side out, so you know that Doyser called that timeout hoping to slow the serving momentum of Gislin. It was a good serve by Gislin, but McNeil managed to get the hit through the block.
Now the important thing is to get a side out right away. Don't let Lewis regain any of the momentum.
IPFW on top 8-4 in game 3. Left-handed serve by Dennis. Mishandled at first by Soto. He does get it over though on the third hit. Now the one-handed set by Rivera. And what are they going to call? They call it a point.
Wow, they're saying he ditched it off the block. I thought that was off the tape.
I did too. Give a point to Lewis. They closed within 8-5. So a kill for Rivera, the serve left-handed by Dennis. Gislin with the back set. What a beautiful hit that time by Solera, but you've never seen a finer block by McNeil. That was a great one-on-one block by Ryan McNeil.
And once again, the momentum shifts right back.
It certainly does. A point goes to Lewis. It's now 8-6, and Arnie Ball wants to take timeout. Fans, don't forget, you too can participate in the excitement of IPFW athletics by joining the Royal Dons Club. The Royal Dons Club is the official booster club for IPFW's athletic teams. Members enjoy priority seating at all IPFW sporting events, food and refreshments in the hospitality room, admission to IPFW sports media luncheons, and association with other Mastodon supporters. For information on becoming a member of the Royal Dons Club, call Pat Klein at 481-6643 or write to the Royal Dons Club, 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805. An outstanding organization, Blake, and some terrific people are loyal supporters and members of the Royal Dons Club.
Now this was coming out of a timeout again. IPFW called the timeout that time because they wanted to slow down the serving. It'll be interesting. I would guess Soto would probably get this set.
Edgardo Dennis, just a sophomore out of Trujillo Alto, Puerto Rico. Left-handed jump serve. Ooh, beauty. Good up by Parat. And Escobar, I should say Solar. Solar comes up with a huge hit. And again, all Quinones can do is just try and find a little place to hide in that floor. He is being worn out. Big side out for IPFW. They serve leading 8-6. Quinones. Dennis comes across to Rivera. Tries to get it through the block. Good up by Soler. Back set goes to Soto.
Oh,
beautiful block by Rivera, but what a save by Gislin. Now shot to the back row by Perrott. Here comes the set to McNeil. Beautiful block by Escobar. On they play. Rivera. Again, another great block by the Dons. Now Soto to set. Here comes Escobar. Wipes it off the block and down.
Our first
point of the match so far.
Our first long rally of the match, and that was turning out to be a duel between Rivera and Soto for IPFW. They're both trying to put the ball away.
The longest and best point of the match goes to the Dons. They build the lead back to 9-6. That could be a huge momentum builder. Rivera can't decide. But the short set of the net put down by John Wick.
That was such a pretty set. And what made it even more effective was that Rivera was coming along on the outside, so everybody was watching Rivera.
Instead, Dennis took the low road, and right there was John Wick to put it down for the kill. Side out goes to Lewis. Soto. Oh, what a beautiful kill right there. Well, that was the good, the bad, as the pass by Soto lacked a little bit. Beautiful set, though, by Gislin, and then Soto with a beautiful kill.
It lacked a lot, but it got the job done.
Side out to the Dons. Boy, there's a knuckleball. Quinones having all sorts of trouble. Tries to wipe it through the block that time. Soler barely saves it. He'll just shoot it to the back row. Now McNeil. Dennis. Rivera hits through the block, but a good save by Cummings. Now here's Soto. Right at us, but out of bounds. Oh, but they'll call something. They're going to call somebody in the net, I believe. Or was that tipped?
I think they called someone in the net.
I believe they did, Blake.
I don't know. My head was down below the table. I didn't see it.
Well, I actually stood in there to watch that thing, but give IPFW a critical point. They lead 10-6. Dennis in a beautiful block that time by Escobar.
Now there's an example. You could see Escobar guided that ball back into the court.
Well, Dennis with a pretty set to Quinones, and Quinones shaking his head in disbelief, and Javier Escobar, beautiful block. 11-6 IPFW. Quinones, Dennis, down the middle, McNeil. Blocked by Perrott. Gislin. Oh, what a big hit by Soto!
Right now, IPFW is just wearing Lewis out at the net. They are controlling all the blocks. They're getting a hand on every attempt that Lewis tries.
12-6 IPFW. Mike Cummings to serve. Serving critical now. Beautiful serve. One-handed set, though, that time. By Dennis, and Perrott stuffs John Wick. A battle of number 7s at the net. And Perrott wins out 13-6 IPFW in game number 3. Timeout Lewis. We'll be back with more MIVA volleyball action after this.
This is the National Radon Test. Answer true or false. Radon is a form of radiation that builds up in homes. The Office of the Surgeon General recommends all homes be tested for radon. Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer. Testing your home is easy, and radon problems can be fixed. You are going to protect your family from radon by calling 1-800-SOS-RADON.
Ken Horman and Blake Sebring back at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center, a match that has seen some terrific momentum swings. IPFW coming out smoking, taking game 1 15-5. They tried more of the same in game 2, at one point led 10-5. Then Lewis rallied to win that one 15-12. Now in what was a tightly played game in this big swing game number 3, the Dons have broken it open so far 13-6. Let's see if they can put it away. Quinones right through the block of Perrott and Escobar.
And they had the play pegged too. They had Perrott and Escobar both up. They're both shaking their heads now.
But that time Quinones threaded the needle. Big side out for Lewis John Wick to serve. Soto, Gislin, that's the short set, and Perrott gets it through.
They got to put him away right here to take momentum into the 4th game.
Again, some frustration appearing to set in on the Lewis side. Nemard, hands on his hips, going, what's going on? McNeil could not play that ball. Rivera, Dennis. Ooh, and that time,
they've just gone away from Rivera completely again.
Quinones just had an open play, and he tried to wipe it off the block and missed. It was wide, 14-6 Dons. and they have a game point. Fans on their feet.
Great.
Escobar, beautiful save by Quinones. Here's Rivera. Great block by Soto. McNeil. Dennis, here comes Quinones. Oh, what a block by Gislin! Chris Gislin at the net. And IPFW has taken game number 3, 15-6. Look at Chris Gislin. He's feeling it. 15-6 IPFW in game number 3. And they take a 2-1 lead in this match.
Unlike the second game, they put them away when they had them down. We'll see if that momentum carries over into the fourth game.
So the Dons lead 2-1 in their season opener at home against Lewis. Back with game number 4 after these messages.
Since you graduated from college, we haven't seen too much of you.
We know you've been very busy climbing the ladder of success.
We've been watching you on your way up, and we've enjoyed seeing you put your degree to work.
Now, how about sharing your time with us?
Your expertise would come in handy, too.
You can reconnect with your alma mater through your alumni association.
It's time for you to come back to your campus.
Call your alumni office today.
Hi, Puddin'.
Oh, you're so... I don't have shoes.
Oh, you are gorgeous. Lauren, talk to me. Come on, you can do it.
Get the keys. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
The IPFW Omnibus Lecture Series proudly welcomes Speaker Douglas Wilder, former presidential candidate and first black governor in U.S. history, Thursday, February 19th at 7:30 p.m. in the Wall Ballroom, sponsored by News Channel 15.
What if you had to choose between a flower and an elephant? What would you choose? What if you had to decide between a 100-year-old tree and a 1,000,000-year-old beach? Could you choose between drinking clean water or breathing clean air? Now you can choose all these things. EarthShare, the world's leading environmental groups working together. It's one choice we can all live with.
So the Hilliard Gate Sports Center is jumping tonight to the home opening volleyball match for the IPFW Mastodons, and they lead the Lewis University Flyers 15-5, 12-15, 15-6. 2-1 in this best-of-5 match. And Blake, you take a little look at the tail of the tape, you can see what IPFW did as far as really turning it on midway through Game 3 to take control.
Well, the key here is the blocks. IPFW had 10 blocks in that game, which is amazing because usually a team averages about 3.5, 4 blocks per game, and they had 10 in the game. Rivera had 1 kill in the third game, and McNeil only had 2. We were just talking to assistant coach Mark Franke and asking why didn't they set Rivera, and he can't figure it out. He said it must be a tendency or something, but it's kind of strange how they can set Rivera so much part of the time and none at all at other times.
Well, fans, don't forget IPFW Men's Volleyball on Channel 6 is brought to you in part by Fujifilm USA, by the Chestnut Group Incorporated, and by the fine folks at Farm Bureau Insurance. Outstanding sponsors, all Fujifilm USA, the Chestnut Group Incorporated, and Farm Bureau Insurance, proud supporters of IPFW Men's Volleyball on Channel 6. Set to start game number 4, and to serve for Lewis is Dennis. Now Soto, the short ball that time. Ooh, IPFW almost committed the 4-hit, but it got over. They have a break there. Rivera tries to wipe it off the block, kept alive by Soto. Gislin shoots it across. Soler, and mistimed his leap. Now the chance for Lewis. McNeil tries to wipe it off the block. Gislin back sets to Soto, and it's down. Hector Soto finding room in the backcourt.
And once again, Gislin gets a chance to serve and give IPFW a fast start to the fourth game.
Side out Dons, and IPFW has taken quick leads in all 3 prior games, but again, Blake, you put the Jones on him because Gislin's first serve is into the net for a service error, so side out returns the ball to Lewis. Ryan McNeil, that clips the net.
Side out IPFW.
Boy, and you're right, this is what gives coaches gray hair. You can coach, you can diagram, you can teach, you can do everything, but you can't make them hit the ball over the net. McNeil comes right down the pipe, wipes it off the block that time of Soto and Cummings. Side out Lewis.
They had the defense set up.
John Wick to serve. Soto, who's done a good job of passing. That time, nifty little back set goes to Mike Cummings, and he hammers it down. Side out Dons. Now Cummings to serve. He's been a very efficient server. Ooh, what a little short set that time. Nemhard, though, blocked at the net. Oh. One ball, one-handed set to Parrott, and he puts it down.
It was like the Globetrotters on that one. No one knew which hand the ball was in.
First blood for the Dons in game 4, 1-0 IPFW. Cummings again, and that time he puts it into the net. So the side out goes back to the Flyers.
I have a theory that it's just this building. You just can't serve in this building.
Victor Rivera, Escobar. Gislin back sets to Escobar. Beautiful block at the net. And now a little bit of talk at the net as Quinones puts it down. And lets Escobar hear about it a little bit. Point for Lewis, 1-1. So.
And the referee lets Quinones hear about it.
Yeah, let's see if that escalates again a little bit. Now Escobar gets the return set. That time I think he clipped the antenna. Well, you could tell they wanted to give it right back to Escobar so he could face Quinones. Javier getting a little anxious, hitting the antenna. 2-1 Lewis. Rivera, and they're going after Escobar. Passes long. Rivera has to hustle to save it. Quinones and IPFW. Ooh, they just can't quite get it. It was Gislin with the diving attempt. Just hit the floor before it got to his fingers. So Lewis moving on top, 3-1 in game 4. Rivera's serve sails long.
Mike Cummings doing the limbo to get out of the way.
Little Matador Olay as the ball sails by. IPFW won game 1. Lewis came back to win game 2. The Dons the third game. We're in the fourth.
My goodness.
And now Escobar serves long. Arnie Ball just sitting next to us with his arms folded, but you really wonder what he is thinking. I bet there's a little churning in that stomach right now. Soto, one of the rare bad passes he's made. That will go down as a service ace for Quinones. It's 4-1, and Arnie Ball will call a timeout. He has seen enough. So he'll take a little time to have a confab with his team.
Oh, the joy of coaching a young team, huh?
Well, and for both of these clubs, because you talk about some kind of young, we've also pointed out that Lewis, very, very young. I think they only start, well, we'll take a quick look here. They may only start, they don't start any seniors. And in fact, they only have 3 listed seniors on their roster. And so
Soler is the only senior who starts for IPFW, and he sat out last year.
So these are youthful teams. A lot of underclassmen and some freshmen seeing plenty of action for both sides. So IPFW, we'll see what Arnie Ball discusses during this timeout to see if the Dons can stem the tide, swing the momentum back their way.
Basically, they're trying to settle down Javier Escobar more than anything.
And there you see Dandy Don, the playful IPFW mascot, as he works the crowd a little bit.
Not his better side.
Well, I guess you can say, good ears there, pal. Got himself a set of jug handles. And just like that, Quinones serves into the net. So that part of the timeout worked for Arnie Ball.
We should have kept track tonight of the serves after timeouts.
Yep.
It's like terrible.
Side out, IPFW, they trail 4-1 in game number 4. They lead the match 2-1. Soto to serve. Ooh, that's a beauty. Rivera just gets it up. And there's a collision at the net. Beautiful save by Soto. Here's Solar. That time blocked by Nemhard. Soto to serve. Here comes Solar again. Hammers it through the block, and I think we're going to have some Lewis players in the net.
Guy Nemhard was in the net. That could have been a big play, a real big play.
Give the kill to Soler. Point Dons. They trail 4-2. Now behind his back, Gislin signaling 2. But you can't run play number 2 if Soto serves long. Side out to Lewis. Now a guy Nembhard to serve. Soto to Gislin. Comes across to Solar. A great dig attempt there by Nembhard, but it carries over the net and long, so that'll be a kill, and the side out comes back to IPFW. Here's Parat to serve. Now Ryan Parat. Rivera, Dennis, John Wick, and is the serve. Oh, they say the hit is down. They say that clipped the back line. So Brian John Wick with the kill, finding the back line, and a side out goes to Lewis. Edgardo Dennis, the sophomore setter to serve. Oh. Well, a bit of a break there for the Dons. It wasn't like Cummings got the most mustard on that ball, but that managed to find the backcourt.
I'm kind of surprised IPFW isn't going to Soto more. Lewis hasn't stopped him all night, and usually this is the time of the match where he can just take over.
Well, Gislin thinks better of the way he positioned that ball for the serve. Dons trail 4-2 in game 4. Now he loads it up. Beautiful up by Rivera. He'll take the set. Tries to hit it through the block and does. Looked like it glanced off either Cummings or Solar, and the back row can't chase it down. Side out goes to Lewis, so loaded with side outs here in game number 4. Ryan McNeil to serve. Beautiful pass by Soto. Back set goes to Solar, and what a block at the net by Quinones. A point goes to Lewis. They move out to a 5-2 lead in game number 4.
All right, now right now it would be a mistake to go right back to Solar because that's what Lewis would be expecting.
Good up by Soto. Escobar wipes it off the block. That time John Wick could not keep it in, so good kill there by Javi Escobar. Side out goes to the Dons, and they need to put together some serving momentum here.
They really do. You see that, Kent? That's how you handle the ball hit right at you like that. Don't let it get all over your coat.
Oh boy, that was just a laser. And now Quinones is dialing up his play. A sophomore outside hitter from Bayamon, Puerto Rico, goes 6-3. Side out right back to Lewis. Soto. Gislin back to Soto. Oh, what an amazing play. Now Quinones, that would be the 4th hit. That rolled down the back of one of the Lewis players. Nembhard got a hand on it, and then when Quinones touched it, that was the 4th hit. Side out to IPFW. Now here comes Cummings to serve. Quinones. Beautiful hit that time by Nembhard. Little short set down the middle going to Guy Nembhard. He made no mistake. Side out Lewis.
What's scary about this position right here for IPFW is they're down 5-2, and Rivera hasn't done much again this game. He can take over the whole game when he gets hot.
Solar, the short ball that time goes to Parat. Great save that time by Rivera. Not much on it that time by Quinones. Now here it comes to Soto. Oh, what a hit. He wiped it off the block. Nembhard trying to put on the act like Noop didn't touch it, but he did. You can see the direction of the ball changed. Another kill by Soto.
Soto's nickname is Peaky because he peeks over the block, and that time he certainly did.
Well, that time Escobar almost served the ball out of the gym, and Arnie Ball has a disgusted look on his face there. That ball almost wound up in the parking lot. Now Quinones on the serve, short ball to Parat, rips it off of John Wick. Boy, if that ball comes through that block, the poor guy there trying to set himself up with a dig just has no time to react. Dons trail 5-2. They have the ball on the side out. Here's Hector Soto from Arroyo, Puerto Rico. 6'6" junior opposite hitter. Beautiful serve. Good job by Rivera. And what a hit by McNeil. McNeil just really loaded that one up.
They had the Lewis ran the play perfectly for IPFW's defense, and nobody moved.
Well, super top spin on that hit. Side out back to Lewis. And Nembhard serves it into the net. So just when Lewis tries to take control, they again try to return the favor to IPFW. Here's Parat. His serve floats long.
And you could tell as soon as he hit it, Arnie Ball goes, oh boy.
well, I say this, tongue firmly planted in cheek, but I think it's almost getting to the point where Arnie's going to say try underhand. You get in those ebbs and flows, though, especially with serving. Oh, Gislin, what a set. And that time, completely out of kilter.
He thought he was serving.
Completely out of kilter that time was Soler. And he fires that one deep and long. So another point to Lewis.
Again, a very dangerous point in the game for IPFW.
6-2 Flyers. Beautiful serve by Dennis. What a pass by Soto. Takes the back set and drills it off of Dennis.
About time. They need to go to him more.
Hector Soto with the big kill, and I think he might have even said, I'm ready to take this game, so give me the ball. Chris Gislin to serve. Serves long, and I believe that is 3 successive service errors, Blake.
And, you know, the fact is that Lewis is serving just as poorly, or they'd have been blown out of the gym a long time ago.
IPFW, its own worst enemy here in game 4. McNeil with the short serve. Gislin with the short set. Beautiful save there by Nemard. McNeil from the back row. Solar keeps it alive. Gislin down the pipe for Soto, and it's wide.
Missed it.
No touch at the net, and Soto missed it. 7-2 Lewis. Arnie Ball off the bench, and he will make some substitutions. Justin Luna checks in for Escobar. So Lewis
might as well try something.
Lewis trying to send this to a deciding 5th game. Soto to Gislin. Short set that time. Cummings has it right back in his face. Backside goes to Solar. He wipes it off the block. So Ricardo Solar, and he has a little bit to say that time to Quinones. Quinones doing a lot of barking. That time he walked away in a little bit of pain. I think he might have got a jam thumb on that kill. That might take a little starch out of the talk of
I tell you what, I'd
Quinones.
serve him right away, and they didn't.
Oh, Rivera. And that is good. Boy, Victor Rivera.
Quinones is still holding his hand.
Found the seam. He is. Yeah, he is holding the thumb. Soto with a pretty pass. Gislin comes back to Soto.
Wow.
Whoa. Drills it in again. Dennis can just flail out the one arm. And that ball heads up toward the concession stand. So
Rivera and Nemhard were both up with him. They both timed it perfectly, and he still hit over top of him.
Dons trail 7-2, though. They need some instant offense. Cummings serves long. Arnie Ball will make another substitution. And this will be the first time tonight we've seen Chris Farmer. So Farmer enters the action, and Cummings will take a chair. Now here is Rivera. Short serve, passed up by Soto, takes the set. Soto. Wow. Beautiful play by Hector Soto. Hits around the block. Little cut kill right there.
I was a little cocky on that play, but I think if I could jump that high, maybe I might be a little cocky too.
Side out Dons, Justin Luna, who just checked in. Rivera back set comes back to Rivera, and he hits that one wide. So IPFW, a much needed point on the miss hit by Rivera. Dons trail 7-3.
And at this point is where usually the serve goes right in the net. They got to keep it in play. They did.
Good play by Luna. McNeil up. Here comes Quinones. Didn't get much on that. Got a break. Quinones, who we talked about having a jam thumb, got just enough of a wipe off on the block, and Soto could not cover. So
now he's got to serve.
Let's see how he does serve. A floater. Solar, the set goes to Soto. He drills it off the shoulder of Nembard.
Hector's starting to take over.
Yeah, he is. He is saying, let's put this team on my shoulders in game 4. A little slam of the ball, saying, okay, I'm ready. Now he needs a big serve. Dons trail 7-3 in game 4. They lead 2-1. Ooh, what a big hit. Good up by Rivera. And the short ball is hit long. Nembard can't believe it.
That ball was in, I thought.
He had the opening, and I'm not going to argue with you. I thought again that topspin might have caught the back line, but ruled out. Nembard did not argue. Give the Dons a point. They trail 7-4. Soto. Big serve. Quinones. Dennis. Here comes McNeil. And again, off the block, there was some elevation to play it in the back row, and Arnie is a little upset that somebody back there did not get to it. Big side out for Lewis. Nembard floats the short one. Soto has to go down to play it. Big hit there by Solar. Oh, what a save by Rivera. Played over by McNeil, but he cannot tightrope the center line. Ryan McNeil.
His foot came over.
Yep. Could not tight roam the line under the net, so a side out to the Dons, break for IPFW after a tremendous save by Rivera. Now Rivera pleading his case with Tom Pingle, the up official.
This is a good point right here. If IPFW get 2 serves in, they might get some momentum going.
Now Ryan Perrott. Rivera. Dennis across to McNeil. Big hit by Ryan McNeil. Again, pumps the fist a little bit, happy to atone for the last mistake he made when he was caught with the foot just over the line under the net. Side out Lewis. Big serve by Dennis. Oh, what a play by the Dons, but good job. That time Farmer giving it 2 attempts. Gislin back set Soto. Beautiful block at the net, and the point. Boy, what a job McNeil does when he goes one-on-one with guys, and that was the biggest hitter on the Dons. Soto, the biggest hitter in the league.
And what's amazing is that McNeil is not known at all for his defense.
Well, he's going to be known for it after tonight. Beautiful serve by Dennis. All Soto can do is play it over the net. Now a little out of control, but Rivera, who just took the ball, wasn't the most beautiful set. Rivera just hammered it off the chest of Soto. So now Lewis establishing some control here in game 4, and they lead 9-4.
He made something out of nothing there.
Good up by Luna. Back set goes to Soto, but a Don caught in the net, so a point goes.
Chris Gislin got caught in the net.
To Lewis, and Lewis moves out to a 10-4 lead. Arnie Ball has seen enough. He's going to call a timeout. We'll be back with more MIVA volleyball action after this.
The power of you, the power of you. You are the hope that comes shining through.
Did you know you have the power to change the world around you for the better? It's the power of you and your local United Way to reach out and make a difference in all of our lives.
Never underestimate the power of you.
Ken Horman and Blake Sebring back at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. IPFW winning game 1 15-5. Lewis taking game 2 15-12. The Dons in game 3 winning 15-6, but Lewis is trying to send this to a deciding 5th game, and with a couple of quick points, they have now moved to a 10-4 advantage in game 4. So we are just 5 points away from going to that deciding 5th game with the rally scoring. Dennis, Justin Luna, short set goes to Farmer, and let's see, do we have somebody in the net? This time we do, and it's John Wick in the net that time for Lewis, so a much needed side out for the Dons.
Chris has had several good chances to swing the momentum with jump serves earlier in the match.
Not much left to say, and I just glanced over at Arnie Ball, and he just folds the arms, and it's like when you can't serve, you can't score. Now here's McNeil. Right down the pipe comes Ricardo Solar.
That play's been there all night.
Second man through right down the middle, and Solar again comes up with the IPFW side out. He'll serve. Dons trail game 4, 10-4. Rivera picks it off the floor. Down the middle comes McNeil. Good block at the net by Farmer. Chris Farmer, the 6'5" senior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, comes up with a big play right there. Point for the Dons, they trail 10-5. Oh boy, Rivera answers though with a huge kill for Lewis.
So much for that rally.
Well, the important thing for the Dons now, get some side outs, try and slow down the scoring momentum. An ill-fated attempt there by Brian Johnwick. Well, so far tonight,
Arnie just threw his hands in the air. Yay, we got one too.
Well, Johnwick has served one so short it didn't even get to the net, and that time that one had to grow some legs to get there. Now Farmer with the serve. Set goes across. Canoon is pleading for a tip. He'll get no call.
He thought Soler had tipped it in the back row.
I don't think so. And the officials don't think so. So there you see Canoon is laughing a little bit, thinking he got homered a bit on the call. Point for the Dons. They lead 10-6. Service ace for Farmer. Rivera got in between. He didn't know if it would float long or not. Decided to throw the arms out. Had no position.
They're back in the game.
The ace by Farmer. Dons trail 10-7. And there will be a timeout called by Dave Deuser. So again, they try to slow down the IPFW momentum. And fans, don't forget, if you're enjoying this live action of tonight's match between Lewis and IPFW, join us once again tomorrow right here from the Gate Center, February 7th at 7:30. At Saturday night, our next telecast of IPFW Men's Volleyball, Channel 6, will bring you live the MIVA conference match between the Loyola of Chicago Ramblers and the IPFW Mastodons tomorrow at 7:30. Loyola of Chicago and IPFW right here from the Gate Center live with Tim Heffron and Blake Sebring on College Access Channel 6.
I just asked IPFW assistant coach Mark Franke who's going to get this set for Lewis. He goes, I know who I'd give it to. I'd give it to Lewis or to Rivera on the backside, but he hasn't gotten it there the last 2 games, so I don't know what they're going to do. I think they're going to give it to him this time. I think they've been using that all night to set up for when they desperately need it, and this is the time where they desperately need it.
Well, the Dons have trailed 10-4. Let's see if Chris Farmer can keep it going. Rivera tightly to the net. There's that back set. He misses everything. Well, that was the play they were looking for, but don't know if it was a set a little too close to the net by Dennis, but miss it by Rivera. He's shaking his head. The Dons within a pair, 10-8. Farmer's done a good job of serving. Long set goes across to Quinones. Hits it off the block.
Boy, Quinones has been very good tonight.
And the back row cannot chase it down as Solar. I think both Solar and Farmer had their momentum carrying toward the net. They couldn't quite react in time, so give a kill to Quinones. Much needed side out that time for Lewis. Luna. Gislin across to Soto. And it's a little high. Oh, he thinks he had a tip at the net. He thought he tipped it off the hands of Guy Nimbard, but he does not get the call. That's a point for Lewis.
That's a killer.
The Flyers on top, 11-8. Ooh, good serve there. Right at the net, though, is Perrott. Short set from Gislin to Perrott. So after a beautiful serve by Rivera, the Dons come up with a huge side out. And now Justin Luna to serve. Big serve, McNeil. Back set from Dennis. Quinones tries to wipe it off the block. Good save that time by Solar. Big kill! Oh, what a kill by Hector Solar!
Nice set. Beautiful set.
Pumps the fist for some emphasis. That's one of those elevator shaft kills, up and down. 11-9, the Dons trail.
Oh.
Beautiful serve by Luna. Rivera tries to come out of the back row. Four hits. IPFW within 1, 11-10.
They were down 10-4, and now they're down 11-10.
Well, the serving of Farmer and Luna have started to turn things around for the Dons. Substitution. Tim Casey checks in for Lewis. Brian John Wick will sit down. There you see Dave Deuser trying to settle down his team. And the fans are starting to pick it up a little. Oh, what a great serve that time by Luna. Quinones with the hit, it's long!
Wow.
Tie game! And the serving of Justin Luna has brought the Dons right back into this match. 11-11. There you see Victor Rivera. Another big serve by Luna, right at Rivera. Oh, the set missed that time. Mistimed as Dennis tried to find Nimbard, and that was the old whiff. Dons take the lead 11-12. Timeout Lewis. Listen to the crowd. The Dons have taken the lead. They're 3 points from the match, and we'll be back with more from the Gate Center. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on College Access Channel 6.
When the heavens thunder, when the nation calls, you can make a difference and be a part of it all.
Find yourself in the Army National Guard, serving 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year, and you'll find an extra paycheck, money for college, and all the adventure you can handle. Call 1-800-GO-GUARD.
In the Army National Guard, you can.
The Dons break their huddle with a chance to win this match in 4 games if they can keep the big momentum rolling. IPFW smoking in game 1, winning 15-5.
We're looking at the same play as last time, a hut to Rivera.
Lewis came back to win game 2, 15-12. Dons 15-6 in game 3. They lead now in game number 4. Justin Luna, what a force he's been serving. Big hit by Rivera. Dons do a good job blocking. The set comes to Soto. Hits it off the block and through. Hits it right through Dennis and Nembard, and the Dons continue to roll. At one point, they trailed this game 10-4. They are on a 9-1 run. They lead 13-11.
Watch this go to McNeil.
And now Nembard will sit down. Eric Sims checks in for Lewis. Justin Luna, what a job he has done serving. Can he keep it going? Yes! Dennis to Quinones. Oh, the block at the net!
No, IPFW was in the net.
Oh, I can't believe that call.
Neither can Arnie Ball.
I can't believe that call as Perrott and Gislin.
Gislin was in the net.
And Arnie is looking at the net judge on the floor, Lauren G. But here comes Gislin to towel off and give him that family look. They cannot believe the call. What a huge break for Lewis. That could have been the crusher. Side out to the Flyers. They trail 13-11. Soto, pretty pass. Down the middle it goes. Great dig that time. Oh, it goes out of bounds. So it's Quinones. Quinones with the one-arm save, but it sailed out of bounds. So
that play has worked all night.
The kill by Escobar. Check that. The kill goes to Solar. Now Soto to serve. The Dons 2 points from the match. Big serve. Oh, it almost handcuffs Quinones. Beautiful save. Here's McNeil. That's long.
Match point.
14-11 IPFW. We are at match point. Everybody in the Gate Center is on its feet, and it's an outstanding crowd we have here tonight.
I got $10. I know who the set's going to. What do you think?
Soto with the serve into the net.
Now, is that typical?
Well, Hector got a little too anxious because he threw the ball way in front of him. About the time he was launching that serve, I think the ball was about his chest.
Microcosm of the whole night so far.
14-11 IPFW. Sims to serve. Soto, what a job of passing he's done. Short ball to Perrott. Gislin serves again. Who wants it? Now Luna comes across. Solar through the block. Quinones with the dig. Here's Rivera. Oh, what a beautiful save by Soto. Quinones. Rivera again. Block at the net. Outstanding block at the net by Solar.
Here comes a great play by Arnie Ball. He's going to sub in Brian Harris to serve for Ryan Perrott. If you remember, Brian, when he came in the first time, got a point right off his serve. And if he gets one here, it's match.
Brian Harris, the Fort Wayne product from Snyder High School, serving for the match. Now Nembard returns in place of Sims for Lewis. Everybody on their feet in the Gate Center. Second match point for IPFW, Brian Harris. The serve, played by Quinones. Dennis, McNeil. Oh, it's blocked and it's it! Game IPFW! The block at the net by Farmer and Gislin went off the shoulder, I believe, of Nembard, and IPFW has won its home opener, defeating Lewis in 4 games, 15-5, 12-15, 15-6, and 15-11. What a match. IPFW runs its record to the season to 3-1, and Lewis falls to 6-2.
You know, it turns out when we talked to both coaches before the game, Dave Duzier and Lewis said blocking would be the key. Arnie Ball said serving. They're both right.
Well, what a match it was. Again, just to give you a little bit of a game recap, IPFW, its home opener here at the Gate Center against Lewis, just came out smoking, playing almost flawless volleyball in game 1, winning 15-5. The Dons led game 2, 10-4. Then Lewis finally got some momentum going. Beautiful rally by the Flyers to take game 2, 15-12, and even the match at a game apiece. The pivotal swing game, game 3, probably the best played game of the match as far as evenness. Then IPFW again got on a roll to break open a tightly played game, winning game 3, 15-6. And then game number 4, again, a brilliantly played game. IPFW, though, down 10-4, roaring back to tie it at 11. and then coming up mainly by the brilliant serving, first by Chris Farmer and then by Justin Luna. And the Dons reeling off 4 straight points after tying the match at 11, and they win game number 4 to close it out 15-11. The Dons win it in 4 games, and again, Blake, just a masterful game by IPFW.
Well, they went to Hector late in the 4th game, and he really took over and really started going.
Well, the celebration continues here at the Gate Center. And there you see the final score, IPFW. Everybody happy here at the Gate Center. The Dons winning their home opener, beating the Lewis Flyers 15-5, 12-15, 15-6, and 15-11. And we'd like to remind you to join us again right back here at the Gate Center tomorrow evening, February 7th at 7:30. Our next telecast of IPFW men's volleyball. Tim Heffron and Blake Sebring will be here when Channel 6 will televise live the MIVA conference match between the Loyola of Chicago Ramblers and the IPFW Mastodons, again tomorrow at 7:30 right here from the Gate Center, live on College Access Channel 6. This telecast of IPFW Sports is copyrighted and the sole property of the College Cable Access Center and IPFW. Unauthorized duplication, exhibition, retransmission, rebroadcast, or other use of this event without expressed written consent is strictly prohibited. We hope you've enjoyed our telecast of IPFW Sports and hope you'll join us for more exciting Mastodon action again in the future, especially tomorrow night when IPFW takes on Loyola right here at 7:30. And folks, we're always glad to have your comments and suggestions, so give us a call once again at 481-6000. That's 481-6000, or drop us a card. Our address here at Channel 6 is Channel 6 at IPFW, 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805-1499. And Blake, a quick final comment. Your feelings about the way the Dons played in this home opener?
I think they got it out of the way. I mean, they played really scrappy, which you knew they were going to have to do with Lewis. Those two teams match up very, very well. It's going to be fun to watch them the rest of the year.
Well, certainly an exciting evening for the Dons with the home opener, and then coming away with the 4-game victory. Again, IPFW lifting its record to 3-1, Lewis falling to 6-2. We talked about what a great rivalry this has been, and certainly it will continue to fuel the fire and make this an even greater rivalry. Again, don't forget to join Blake and Tim Heffron tomorrow night from right here at the Gate Center when the Dons will host Loyola of Chicago. Thanks again for joining us this evening, everybody. For Blake Sebring, this is Ken Horman. So long, everybody.
$800-535-7496. Major support for Jazz Set comes from the Lila Wallace Reader's Digest Fund, helping people to make the arts part of their everyday lives. From National Public Radio member stations and Borders Books and Music,